If you're here to ask me about the term mansplaining, some people use it and some people think of it as a kind of feminist term. But feminism is not an organisation. We don't have an AGM. We don't all think the same thing. It's the campaign for women's liberation and women's equality, and as such...
Well, you seem to think a lot has twaddled today, Kate. Certainly nothing racist, and so far you're the only one who's been sexist tonight. Kelly J, you want to respond?
Yeah, I'd just be interested to know, when we talk about modern feminists, where they've been, because lots of modern feminists, Kate included, don't seem to want to talk about the existential threat posed by transgender ideology on women's spaces, on the fact that there are boys and girls toilets in schools and girls don't have access to single-sex facilities, on the basis that we are changing. This is what happens. Modern feminism, the biggest threat to women in this country right now, women and girls in this country, is transgender ideology and the fact that we no longer can define what a woman is without some silly caveat. And we've got men, so actually we might even now have women man-spreading or woman-spreading because they might require this space apparently. And then we've got self-proclaimed feminists like Kate Smurthwaite, who are too frightened to actually name this issue and talk about it. I think it's laughable that we can talk about...
Well, I think you just triggered her. I think you just triggered her, Kelly, to the point that she just did the laptop drop. You know, it's the modern day equivalent of marching out the...
Can't argue with feminists. They're too emotionally charged, illogical, and just plain annoying. I am one of the believers that everyone's voices should be heard. But if you're arguing with people like these, you're just wasting your time, boys.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
All right. Let's break that down. So what if he said it? The point is, these things are said all the time on the internet by millions of women. How to manipulate men to get them to do what you want.
Absolutely right. There's no outrage, is there? The issue only garnered attention because it was voiced by a man.
Them to do. Okay, pickup artists use these techniques. I understand what Andrew was saying. He's denying it now that he said it. But it's irrelevant whether he said it or not. The point is, and the problem is, the optics right now with the masses watching, when you pull something out of context, it doesn't look good. Of course it doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't please women's soft palate. Things have to be sweet and soft for women to absorb it. But listen to what she said. Manipulate women in order for them, both of them, to make money.
So we could become rich together.
Please tell me now, if a woman didn't see the upside of being with a man who was convincing her in a business opportunity where they both benefited, do you think any of these legally aged girls would refuse? No. Every single one of these freaking women are chasing the bag. They see opportunity to make a lot of money, go to foreign countries, fly on freaking private jets. They're gonna jump on it.
The BBC and the whole woke narrative seems to perpetuate this idea that women are these innocent little angels who get easily manipulated. That outlook couldn't be more wrong. Women manipulate men all the time for their own benefit, but are they held accountable to the same standard? Nope.
Women are opportunists. That's it. They see an opportunity, men give them an opportunity. You think they give a shit about love? They don't care about love. They see opportunity. Sure, you have to convince them emotionally because that's all they respond to. They don't respond to cold, hard, freaking facts about business. No, that's not how you talk to women.
This is the bluntest truth any man can tell you about women. Women are opportunistic creatures. The existence of hypergamy is proof enough of that. They see an opportunity that they'll benefit from, they'll run straight to it like a pastor to a choir boy. Women do not care about love. In fact, they're the practical sex. They're not romantic, sweet, or idealistic. Men are. It's a lie that's as old as forever. If you don't understand women's true nature, you'll get burned.
My name is Bailey.
My name is Riley.
I'm Charity.
I'm Emily.
I am Chauvin.
I'm Peter. I'm the anti-fascist, but...
Feminist?
Anti-feminist, sorry.
Yeah, that was definitely deliberate. Fascism is a political ideology characterized by dictatorial power, strong nationalism, suppression of political dissent, and the promotion of authoritarian rule. So yeah, basically feminism.
What is the number one problem facing men today, and what is the number one problem facing women today?
I can say something.
Come on, ladies.
Everybody's going to say,
educate me.
The number one problem.
Answer all the questions. Come on, tell me.
The number one problem with men is that they don't tell women the truth, and the number one problem with women is that they can't handle the truth. Simple.
That's a good paradigm to start from, because it's actually very interesting you say that. A lot of women say, I just want a man who's honest, and then the second you're honest, she's like, well, you did wrong. It's like, well, then don't ask me for all lie.
Thank you.
So that's a good point. I agree with that one. I don't think it's the biggest problem, but it certainly is a problem in relationships today. That is a problem. The biggest problem with men today is that I think the world is becoming hyper-competitive. Most men are not aware and understanding of how quickly there's going to be a genuine shift in between those who have things and those who do not have things.
It's an interesting take. Women are hardwired to respond to their emotions, so they couldn't be more different than men who live in a fact-based world. To men, the content of the message matters more than the context, whereas the opposite is true for women.
One of the things that I talk about is, I call it the fundamental rule of attraction, which is that people want what they want, not what wants them. Okay? So there's another principle at play here, which is, see if you follow me on this one. It's not possible for two people to like each other exactly the same amount. Do you guys believe that that's true?
Yes. Do you believe that the man should want the woman more?
What the heck? That wasn't... I can't. Anyway, let's move on. Hang on, why is there a fucking cat there? Okay, moving on for real this time.
No. So let me talk a little bit more about this. So first of all, we're saying it's not possible for two people to like each other. So if that's true, then that means that there's always somebody in a relationship who likes the other person more, and there's always someone in a relationship who likes the other person less. I call this person the adorer and this person the adored. And they're actually like gender neutral. Like men could be here, men could be here, women could be here, women can be here. And when a person is pursuing, when they're showing interest, what they're doing is they're putting themselves in the position of the adorer. And the adorer is actually where everyone really wants to be, both men and women. I think that that's actually true. And that's because when you're in the position of the adorer, you get all of these feelings. You get to be with the one that you love. The thought of them makes your heart race. When they don't text, you're worried and you're anxious. When they do text, you're relieved. When you get to see them, you're really excited and you're into it. The person who adores gets to have the emotional experience. The adored doesn't.
Man, there's a lot of truth in that. At least, in my experience with talking and observing couples, that seems to be true across the board.
No. So let me talk a little bit more about this. So first of all, we're saying it's not possible for two people to like each other. So if that's true, then that means that there's always somebody in a relationship who likes the other person more, and there's always someone in a relationship who likes the other person less. I call this person the adorer and this person the adored. And they're actually like gender neutral. Like men could be here, men could be here, women could be here, women can be here. And when a person is pursuing, when they're showing interest, the thought of them makes your heart race. When they don't text, you're worried and you're anxious. When they do text, you're relieved. When you get to see them, you're really excited and you're into it. The person who adores gets to have the emotional experience. The adored doesn't. The adored has a much greater muted emotional experience because this person gets to be with the one that they love and this person gets to be loved by the one that they're with. And that's a very different experience. Now, there are pros and cons to each. It's not actually better to be the adored or the adorer, though people generally have preferences one for the other. But when a man comes out of the gate with buying flowers and going out of his way, it really does put him in a place of the adorer very early, and it creates a big gap in that attraction, because the fact of the matter is that no one has like earned that yet. And that's why it kind of comes off as untrustworthy. It's like, because there's nothing that the woman has done yet to demonstrate that she's worthy of his affection. And so it comes off as, even though it's in this, as just kind of like desirous of wanting to be liked, which isn't generally why we like people.
It comes across as disingenuous because the women literally did nothing to earn that much affection. So in her brain, she thinks, oh, there must be something that this man wants from me, thus putting her immediately in the position of the adored. This is quite brilliant stuff, actually. They really think that's all men care about.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
Honestly, if you don't sense anything wrong with the situation, I would still implore you to help. It's not to be a white knight or a gentleman. It's because helping other people is good for you, boys. It's a simple mantra that had done me good for the past few years. By offering your help to other people, you're the one experiencing the great emotions of being useful, not them. Whether they reject or accept your help is irrelevant. Helping other people will give you a sense of fulfillment. But if they look like Karens or hardcore feminists, just don't. You know what they look like.
Bro, why are the chlamydia meds gorgeous?
Better question, why are you so comfortable on the internet? I just felt like that was more deserving of a diary as opposed to a TikTok video. You want to know something that's really gorgeous? A negative test for
We've all heard stories about your friend's crazy ex making his or her lives awful, but this individual right here put on one of the greatest pound-for-pound stalking performances I have ever seen. Model Orla Sloan, aka Devil Baby, that's what she calls herself, admits she used 21 different phone numbers to stalk England soccer star Mason Mount. 21!
She cray cray. This is her. In my opinion, there might be men who could tolerate being the subject of persistent attention and stalking from a woman like this. Bros, come on, have some standards. This influencer gained fame by stripping in a supermarket.
The best man wins.
All right, boys, we're gonna go 3 rounds for 1 minute. Sky, remember this is for you. Let's go. Touch gloves, touch gloves. All right? Go! All right, baby. Oh my God. Oh! What was that? Oh! Oh! Are you okay? Oh!
Two simps just going at it.
Look around, you see a bunch of distractions, right? That's a fact. You see, I'm out here, I'm just vibing. I ain't worried about no females. I ain't worried about none of that. I got my own goals going on.
Men should focus on their goals, not women.
No, is it the dodo bird?
Oh, yeah.
Not that. Yes, it is a dodo bird with a hat on.
This man woke up and chose violence. I see that he's pro-extinction.
Do we need men?
I don't personally think so. I'm doing fine without them.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
We can do things ourselves.
Do we need men?
I don't think so, not really. Studies have shown you don't actually need them. I think they're great, some of them are great. Sometimes you just don't need them.
Here's an idea. How about after asking these girls the question, the interviewer should start chasing them with a chainsaw? That would probably generate the Guinness Book of World Record for the fastest time someone changed their mind. It's funny because women just move in. They haven't actually built shit. The world around them, the very environment that protects them, was created by men. Yet, here, they have the audacity to proclaim the world doesn't need men. Unbelievable.
Men build the world that you live in. Oh, okay. Who built that house or apartment you live in? Was it a crew of women? Who designed the metal work? Who put in the floor, the plumbing, the electrical system, the heat? Who put that in? The car you drive, was that built by a crew of women? So women are not capable of doing none of those. Excuse me, because we're given a choice, because women are free today, right? And why don't we see 51% of the construction workers as women? Why don't we see 51% of the plumbers, electricians, military, train operators? Because when given an opportunity, women segregate themselves into more comfortable.
Exactly. Oh, women can do that too. Yeah, but none of y'all bitches want to. We've never been more free today in the history of mankind. But have you seen a group of women doing underwater welding?
I don't do breaks. And every relationship that I was in, whenever it was time to like take a break, I was like, nah. I'm like, we either break up or we fix it. I'm not gonna take a break to do what? I'll go stay at my parents, at my brother's, at someone else's crib for a bit, and we could still talk. What do you want to break for? What is that gonna solve?
Oh, I want to break. By the way, I'm going on a trip. Oh, Miami. Oh, spring break. You know what I'm saying?
So
yeah, about that.
Nope. These types of breaks are just excuses for women so they can do whatever they want, i.e. sleeping around with a bunch of guys.
Men are like cars. The first car you ever have, trash. You can hurt.
You worried about us and they on Twitter saying you look like him.
How much would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
I personally would rate myself a 10.
I think I'm a 10 because I really think I'm pretty.
I think I'm a 10. I know I'm a 10. I'm confident that I'm a 10.
I'm a 10. I'm a 10. I'm fat, but I'm a 10.
I'm fat, but I'm a 10. Delusional. Delusional everywhere. This is why women have no self-improvement at all. They all think they're fucking perfect. Yikes.
If you're talking to someone you like and the feelings just don't seem to be reciprocated, like they're not even giving you common courtesy, at that point it's just a delusionship. It's no longer a situationship, and it's time to jump ship.
Why are you holding a knife though, buddy?
And can you believe this? It's so easy to call people racist for no reason at all. The low ratings is because the documentary sucked. And it isn't racist to point out a historical inaccuracy in a production that is portrayed to be a documentary. If anything, this documentary...
Why are we even still listening to Jada at this point? She's crazy! Anyway, that's all the time we have for you today, boys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.